This video is being brought to you by Cutting Edge Gamer. If you upgrade graphics cards often, Cutting Edge Gamer is the perfect option for you. Lease the newest graphics cards on the market, such as Nvidia's RTX 20 series, for a low monthly payment. Click the affiliate link below in the description to find out more.
So the founder of PlatinumGames isn't too excited about the next-gen consoles. Let's get into it.
Skip it up and that up.
So as you know, for a while, next-gen hype has been building. We know that Microsoft's next-gen system is coming late next year in 2020. It's going to launch with Halo Infinite, and it's pretty safe to say that Sony's going to launch their PS5 next year as well. We're getting real close to the 9th generation of consoles, and we've been hearing a bunch of educated rumors at this point. They're not even, I can't even just call them rumors anymore. Colin Moriarty, during one of his podcasts, says that he knows developers that are saying that the PS5 is definitively more powerful than the Xbox Scarlett. And there were rumors before from other educated sources saying the Xbox Scarlett was more powerful than the PlayStation 5 when they used the dev kits. And then you had Ed Boon, the director of Mortal Kombat 11, coming out and saying, how the hell does anybody know which console is more powerful? We're still too far away, and you just can't make any speculation on that yet. That's what he said. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. That's basically what he said. So we've been hearing a whole bunch of banter about next-gen systems because they're not even a year and a half away anymore, or they're about a year and a half away. It's coming relatively soon, and people are getting amped up. But founder of PlatinumGames, Atsushi Inaba, was talking to Video Games Chronicles, and he's not super thrilled. He thinks, the next-gen consoles are more of the same crap. Well, he didn't say that exactly. This is exactly what he had to say. But it's more of the same, quite frankly. He's talking about the off-the-shelf PC tech that's inside of them compared to previous generations. It's nothing that's disruptive or super innovative, if you ask me. Game hardware used to be about custom chips that you couldn't do on PCs. Now you look at it and they're just grabbing stuff that already exists. It's hard to get excited about stuff that kind of already exists, but has been repurposed to a certain degree. But what he is excited about is cloud gaming. Yeah, because that's not going to be a disaster for a while when 8 billion different companies are trying to get us to sign up for 8 billion different monthly fees. And then there's companies that are going to go out of business, and we're going to invest money in the games, and you have Google Stadia trying to get us to buy games at full price. Let me stop my rant now and tell you what he said first. That's why, for me, things like cloud platforms represent innovation and something very, very different. They're platforms that excite me and where I feel there is a lot more innovation happening. Look, I get what Inaba's saying about systems now. Even with, I said that when we were going from the 7th generation into the 8th generation of consoles, yeah, they're just watered down gaming PCs. They have AMD CPUs in them, AMD graphics, their x86 64-bit architecture. No special tricks in them, no cell processors, no crazy power PC architecture, nothing like that. But that's a good thing, though. Like, remember how many issues developers, especially third-party developers, had with the cell in the PlayStation 3? Mr. Inaba, you really want them to have all these crazy different architectures, so you have to sit there and spend more development dollars trying to figure out how the best way to utilize the architecture? And then, or get crappy ports, like initially when the PlayStation 3 came out. If you had a port, if they had a game that was a multi-plat for 360 and PS3, the PS3 version ran horrible. A lot of times they just had it run on the main single PPE core and didn't utilize the SPEs on the cell, and the games would run on a single core and run like crap. You want those days to come back, really? I mean, yeah, you could argue with what Nintendo's doing, and yeah, they nailed it out of the park with the Switch. They made risks, they tried something different, and this time it really worked. I love the Switch. I constantly, talk about it. But what do you want Sony and Microsoft to do? To just go totally off base and not create next-gen systems that are powerful, that could give us more immersive worlds? Do you want them to make their own Switches, or do something like, I don't know, like, what do you want from them? You want them to do custom hardware again? It's a pain in the ass to code for. Do you want them to copy Nintendo again and make the PlayStation 5 Switch, and for Microsoft to make a hybrid Xbox Scarlett? I'm not saying that copying is innovation, but at this point, for developers, the best thing to do is just, make consoles into PCs using PC hardware and PC architecture. It's easier for development. They're more accustomed to the x86 64 architecture, and it's easier to make games and cheaper to make games than having 3 different systems from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo that are totally foreign to developers, that it takes a lot of R&D to learn how to develop for them, even with dev kits, and it'll cost you a lot of money. And with how the development costs of games are skyrocketing with each generation, because it takes more to make that kind of production value, and more artists and more developers and more coding, and as graphics engines get more advanced, you really want things to you want the hardware to be complex and not easy to figure out. I think the smartest move that Sony and Microsoft ever did with their consoles, granted I still think the base PS4 and Xbox One were underpowered when they first came out, was make them basically watered down PCs, because it made it easier for developers. And now it'll be easy for developers again. It's also going to help with backwards compatibility, having these new systems still be x86 64-bit AMD APUs in there, because backwards compatibility is going to be really easy with 8th gen games on the 9th gen consoles. So I don't know. I mean, I get what he's saying, that there's nothing to be excited about, but at the same time, it may make making a 9th gen system that's more powerful, more affordable than if they went all super custom and went with IBM and made like the Cell 2 processor for the PlayStation 5. That would make this system's price skyrocket and developers would have a tough time with it. I think that Sony and Microsoft are going in the right direction, and I'm actually excited that they're basing them on PC architecture, because we're going to get some amazing looking games. They're going to have hardware ray tracing built in. They're going to have the CPU side of things based on Zen 2 architecture, the chips that are just coming out from AMD this summer. Things are looking really bright when it comes to console gaming. And if you're a PC gamer, it benefits you too, because that means that if the consoles become more powerful, your games on PC will look better, and you'll get your money's worth out of your 2080 Ti's. Hopefully. Be funny if the ray tracing tech in the consoles is better than Nvidia's current most powerful cards. That would be funny, huh? No, it wouldn't, because I have 2080 Ti's too, and I'll be kind of pissed as well. Now, his excitement about cloud gaming, it's new, relatively new, exciting tech, and you're going to be able to play AAA games everywhere. And I get what he's excited about. And EA was saying something that, it'll make more obscure games be more mainstream, because if you're just paying a monthly fee, developers will be able to take more risks instead of just worrying about getting as many dollars as they need to get. Because if you're just paying a monthly fee, they could try new ideas and still make money off of them. But there's a dark side to cloud gaming. I know it's the inevitable future, maybe way down the line, or not as way down the line as we think, but what happens if EA, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sega, Ubisoft, Bethesda, that's 8 I just thought of off the top of my head. What happens if they all want you to, the only way you could play their games is if you sign up for a monthly subscription to them? What happens then? You got to pay 8 monthly subscriptions a month to play games from all those publishers and developers? And then look at what Google's doing with Google Stadia. Certain games, they're going to make you pay the normal AAA price, like you're buying a physical cartridge. Why you're buying? You got what I'm saying. I'm holding a Hue card for the TurboGrafx 16. Like you went to GameStop and you bought the Blu-ray for your PS5. They're making you pay the same price for data from a cloud to stream a game from the cloud. So that means you're going to be paying full price, maybe a monthly fee to access a certain streaming service, and you may have to pay for multiple streaming services. Sorry, Mr. Inaba, I'm not that excited about that. That needs to be figured out first before cloud gaming gives me a nerd boner. Because right now, my nerd boner is quite flaccid. That is a terrible visual, I'm sorry. But anyway, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with Mr. Inaba? Are you not that excited about next-gen consoles? Or do you think them basing next-gen consoles on PC architecture is awesome and it makes you look forward to the 9th generation of technology from both Sony and Microsoft? This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one.